Hey everyone, welcome. It's Gina and I am doing 37 to 42 days of 61 days of Icad. I'm a little behind, yes I know, but here it is. Because I'm so behind, I'm doing batches of 6. Can you believe it? I never thought this day would be, never. It would be like a norm. This is now the norm for me. But anyway, here I am. I have my cards, and today I'm starting off with soft pastels because I haven't used them in a while and I miss it, and I wanted to see what would happen. So I'm just going to put these down, rub them in with my finger, and then activate with water. Here I thought I would try also some oil pastels, even though I know we usually use this at the end. But I thought, why not? We're using pastels. So let's try the oils and see how they work, see how they look, see if we have some resistance happening. I think it would be cool. Then I thought I would add a nice layer of pink beneath everything just to, help lift it and brighten it up a bit. Well, not really brighten, but maybe soften it a bit more. I don't know, I just felt like doing pink. Right, so here I am using my matte fluid medium. This is by Liquitex, and I believe it's working. It's gonna keep everything in place and I'm really excited. Okay. Alright, so now I really didn't know what else to do, really, not yet. So I am just pushing some areas back with some white acrylic paint and just rubbing that in with my fingers. Next, I'm going to bring in those lovely painty papers that I received from my art pal, Marsha. And these are the ones I decided to use today. I think they would look really cool. And again, I really didn't want to rip them up, but here goes. But before I do that, I'm going to do some stamping. I'm using a regular clear stamp, but I'm using acrylic paint on it just to get... it's really... When I stamp, I think of adding marks, and I think of helping to tie everything in together, even though I know that I'm going to separate it after. So I'm just stamping now to try and make sure that there is a stamp or a piece of stamp on each card. And now to add my collage. I am trying my best to keep certain things together, but it's so hard. But I really I want to be able to see it at the end, you know? I know a lots of what we do gets covered up, but I really want to see some of these things at the end. So I'm using a regular glue to stick them down, and I want to make sure that there's piece on each card. There must be, I'm trying to get piece of each color and each piece of each type on each card. Then I thought I could add some more stamping to help tie them together again, even though I know I'm going to separate it, but I felt like we could still bring some of those marks to the forefront so they'll have more of a highlight. This time I'm using a little butterfly. And now it's time to separate them and see how they look. So even though I could see them separately on the paper, like on my table, when I actually physically separate them, they look so much different. And then you could actually see, oh, that's how it looks. Oh, that, you know, even though I'm seeing it already there, but they're together, when I physically separate it, it makes a big difference. So I love what I see. I really like what I see. And because there's some red in some of the prints that I got, I decided to add red, this time more bravely, on some of the cards. Yay me, I'm so proud of me. For these, I'm using a pen cover just to add some other types of red marks on the cards. And now I'm adding some black marks using a pen. You could use anything to add marks to your art, anything. And what I'm doing here is just trying to give those very white areas a light wash, because I just found they were too white. They just stood out too much and they looked odd. So I'm just taking a little bit of color, very watery, and adding some color to those white areas. I know I said that I like white areas on my, pieces, but this time it just looked odd in my eyes. Here I'm deepening up those red areas because they looked a bit too washed out for me. I'm just looking at each card to see what can I do next? What should I do next? Now to work on them individually, because it's time to add my focal points or clusters or collage clusters or whatever you want to call them. But each card is going to get its own little thing. So I'm just going to create some small clusters. Here I have my awesome leaf again. Oh! And each card is going to get their own set of words. So I finally decided what my cluster will be, and my words are: just because you are struggling doesn't mean you're failing, which is a wonderful encouragement to me, because sometimes, you forget. Sometimes part of the process is that you will have to fight through some things and work through some things, and it's tough. So I'm enjoying actually using all these different pages and bits and pieces. Just a couple years ago, clusters and collaging was so hard for me to do. I couldn't grasp it. It sounds strange, but it's true. But anyway, so this one is a bibliophobia, which is the fear of running out of things to read. How many of us have that fear? I feel like there will never be, that will never happen, because there's so much to read in the world. It's crazy. There's so much. So I feel like that is never going to happen. It probably could if things get destroyed, but generally there's so much to read. There's so much printed material out there. So much. I mean, even if things weren't online, even if we didn't have stuff that's online, there's a lot of printed material. So I don't have that fear, because I feel like there's always a lot, unless there's a huge disaster and everything gets destroyed. Yeah. So yeah. Now I have this shiny thread that I bought in a set. I think I got it in a pharmacy actually, and I saw it and I was like, yes, of course I must have shiny thread. And of course it was for craft, for doing art. But yeah, I thought, let's add some shine to these cards, man. Let's do it. And I loved it. So I'm using my glass block to just here I took some sheets of wax paper sheets to put in between so they don't stick together. Now for my next one, this one gave me a lot of trouble. It did. But I don't know. This ribbon, I was trying to put pink on it so badly because of the pink that's on that piece of paper there, the pink stripes. I really wanted to put another piece of pink because there wasn't really any other pink on it. And I tried so hard. I struggled. This card I really struggled with. I'm going to go back and forth a lot. See, I even thought about bringing in wire. I finally got rid of the ribbon. I thought about the wire. I liked the wire, but it wasn't fitting. It didn't feel right. I just really fumbled a lot with this card. Eventually, I just ended up using the thread alone. But yeah, it was tough. I thought about using this string. It was horrible. It didn't fit at all with this card. It's horrible. You see, I just put it aside. I got so fed up. I was like, "Ugh, enough. Go away." Then for this one, I chose my fake leaf that I made, I think, for the last set of cards. The words I chose are, "I would rather adjust my life to your absence than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect." So I thought this was cool. I really loved it, and I'm going to put it on. This cluster was a lot easier to organize. Here I'm just adjusting the thread because I found it looked too neat, so I'm just trying to rumple it up a bit. Didn't really do much of a good job with that, but yeah, just trying to dishevel it a bit. And next I found this piece of cloth when I was looking. It's actually a piece of a shirt that I cut up. I was looking for something else and I found this. I was like, hey, maybe I could use this because I have green on the card. So I used it. I like the ridges. I like the, how it's threaded. I really like it a lot. And the word I chose to use on this card is imaginative. Just to remind me to keep being imaginative, keep imagining, just to keep creating. And think outside the box, think of things differently. Even some people may not agree with it, they may not understand it, they may not like it, but that's okay. I should just keep my imaginative juices growing and flowing and, just do your thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just making a nice little cluster there and adding that down. And for this card, I had this black piece of cardstock just hanging around and I thought it would add a nice contrast. But really and truly, I think it's too big. I could have ripped it down just a bit more, but it's already done. So I put that down. My word for this one is intuitive. Another reminder for me to just follow my gut, which is usually the Holy Spirit. Just giving nice, very gentle proddings. Gina, do this. Gina, don't do that. Gina, check this. Pick up that, carry that. Look, for example, very recently, I went to take part in an event and I made a handmade fan in my camp and I had mine and I saw it there and the Holy Spirit said to me, Gina, carry it. And I said, yes, I will carry it, but I will pick it up when I'm leaving. So I'll come back for it basically. And of course, I forgot it home. And of course, I needed it. And I kicked myself, not literally, but you know, I was disappointed in myself, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, and you know, next time I pray that I listen to you. You know, just simple things like that. Just people call it the intuition, but I call it the Holy Spirit's guidance. So listen to that still small voice. It's usually the Holy Spirit guiding you. So here I finally decided to just stick it down and leave it without its extra pink piece. And that's the end of you can. And I did. I can and I did. So I got it stuck. So that was basically it for these cards. But they didn't feel right. They didn't feel like it was the end. And I wasn't all that comfortable with them. But here I am showing it off, you know, oh, here they are, this is the end, you know, doing my usual moving close-ups. That's what's happening. These took me several hours to do because it was just really difficult. I don't know what happened today, but it was difficult. And then, as I said, I wasn't comfortable. So after I finished showing them off, I plastered them with some gesso. So you see in some white areas, and now I am going to use the thicker gesso to add it through the stenciling on the cards, because they didn't feel right to me. So yeah, see, I'm just adding more gesso. We have some white areas which I did not film, because yeah, I guess I felt that they were too intense. I don't know. So now I'm adding these extra bits. These cards had a lot going on today. A lot. Maybe I overdid it. I don't know. You let me know what you think. If I should have ended it where I already showed everything, or if this, you know, but you see, I love how this one turned out with how it turned pink. Yeah, I love that. Because I added it off camera. You can't see it. I didn't film it, but yeah, so I'm just adding some stenciling on each of the cards. And here I found the black was still too much. So I added some stenciling on those pieces because I wanted to small up that black. It was just too much black. But I guess I didn't do it then right away. I'm just adding my circles on different cards, different parts of it, just tiny areas. And I felt so much better after I did this. See, I'm going to add it on the black, just to small up the area and make it less black. So I felt better about that. And here again, I thought I was done. Yep. Looking at it, another close-up. I mean, how much? And then I decided, you know what? My girl put some nice gold circles on her papers, on her orange papers. So I thought I want to add some more in some areas. So I ended up putting gold on every card. Some of them I marked like I'm doing now, just, you know, scratching some in. And some of them I just use a Q-tip to dab it and swirl it on. So I got some really nice circles doing that. I was like, wow, these give some really good circles like this. So you know, I'm going to do this with other colors on different papers. It's just so small that it'll take me forever, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to make some marks, probably on some of those same papers that I did in my previous video. But yeah, I'm going to use the Q-tips to do it, and I'm excited. So I'm just adding some gold circles and some gold, you know, marks on these cards, just to tie everything in, and so it wouldn't just be in one area, you know. And now I'm finally done. How many times have I shown you the cards? Oh my goodness, like 3 or 4 times. It's ridiculous. But yes, this is finally it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you felt I should have left it as it was before, or if you prefer this version. Let me know what you think. Or if you just don't like it at all. It's like, nah, these cards not cutting it today. Let me know what you think. And I hope your creative journey is going well. And you're learning and, you know, exhaling and getting stuff out. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying it, whatever the process is. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.